Hello, everybody. This is Chris with Night of Living Card Games, and I am back. I have returned after a bit of a hiatus, a little bit unexpected, between a lot of family activities and extracurricular things for our sons that involved a lot of traveling, and just work got super crazy the first part of the year that just was adding so much after hours work and so much stress. I just didn't have time or mental capacity to play games and record things, so I took a step back for a bit, but things have kind of smoothed out, so I am back and I am going to try to get some games back up on YouTube. And so I thought I would visit Age of Apocalypse. Now, because of everything going on, I really haven't had a chance to play Age of Apocalypse. I've played the first scenario, that's it. Haven't really played Magik, haven't played Bishop. Iceman is still in his box. I have yet to even open him yet. So I think I'll just do a campaign of Age of Apocalypse. And I think what I might do is just change out heroes in each scenario just so I can get a chance to play them. So, got everything up, just a standard game, standard 3 in there, got all the cards up. The only thing I have to do is figure out my overseer and then the mission side scheme that's involved. So this is a Magik leadership deck. So, figure with allies, with the side missions, that'd be a good thing to do. So let's see here. Who am I going to get? We are going to get Mikhail Rasputin, so I guess my brother. So 5 hit points, and that if I do something with an energy resource, discard an energy resource, allies take damage. So the nice thing with doing this solo is if I can get one 2/2 ally in here, I can take this out without too much difficulty. So let's see here. What do we got for our side scheme? Side scheme is Protect the Professor. All right, so that comes in with 5 threat on it. And let's see for setup instructions on the back. Protect the Professor. I don't think I can do this one. I think this one is supposed to be the last side scheme, so let's pick another one here. I don't know, at the very least it's not one of the 4 on the back, so I'm assuming, I think it said something about picking, having one set of sides. Let's see what we're going to do instead. Sabotage of the seawall. Alright, so Sabotage a Seawall. Shuffle the North American Seawall side scheme into the encounter deck. Dun, 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 dun. North American Seawall. Alright. So everything else we've got set up. We've shuffled our decks. We've got our hit points, our threat, our tokens out. So let's see how this goes. Alright, let's start with our opening 6. We've got a Soul Strike, a Stepping Disc, Crown, Spiritual Meditation, Power in All of Us, and a Long Shot. You know what? I'm going to keep Long Shot and Power in All of Us because that means I can throw Long Shot in there. That'll be great. Do kind of like the Crown. Alright, so here... I'm going to pitch Stepping Disc and Soul Strike. Soul Strike I'm going to because I can put it at the top of my deck when I flip up. All 3 of my spiritual meditations in my opening hand. All right, this should be interesting. So let's see what happens here. Spiritual meditation. 2. Magic Barrier and Mystical Armor. Yeah, I'm going to pitch Magic Barrier. Let's try it again. summoning spell into me, my X-Men. I will put summoning spell in there. Let's do it one more time. Colossus and Legion. I'll do Colossus. We'll pitch Legion. Alright, so that was interesting. Alright, so we're going to flip ourselves up, and then I'm going to use my ability to put Soul Strike on the top of my deck. I'm going to use Mission Team to reduce the cost of an ally by 2. So I'm going to play Long Shot into the mission. And then next turn I can start with the mission attempts. Okay, so I could either get the crown out or my armor. You know what? I think retaliate is nice. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend Colossus and to me my X-Men to play Magik's Crown. So I'm now steady. And because that is a mental on the top, it is a +1 thwart, so I get the thwart for 2. So let's take that down to 2 so he loses retaliate. And now I'm going to use... Well, do I want to do... No, you know what? We're not going to do that. I'm going to take the hit from the retaliate and just take the tough off, because now I'm going to use my once per phase ability to play the top card of my deck at a -1 cost. I'll spend my Mystic Armor to do Soul Strike. Ah, darn. I was hoping I would have top deck a Fist or a Energy, but I get to do 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and that is everything. So we draw ourselves up. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And top card comes top. That is Beast. That'll be great for a mission attempt. All right, so we get 1 on the main, which puts another 1 on Gene Pool. He is coming to attack. I will defend. So he's attacking for 2. 3, 4. I block 2 of it, so I take 2. And now we get an encounter card, which is Hunted. Alter Ego action. Discard a card from your hand to discard this enemy. Alright, I am going to exhaust this to do a mission attempt. So, So mission attempt. Discard X cards from the top of your deck, where X is the number of allies in the mission. 1. Excuse me. Hey, look. Assign each of the discarded cards to a different ally in the mission. I assign Beast to Longshot. If the resource icons match, they do. Gather X damage tokens into a damage pool, where X is the total attack of the participating allies. So that is 2. And deal damage from your pool to the enemies at the mission 1 at a time until there's no damage left. Well, can only go to Mikhail. And then remove X threat, where X is the total thwart of the allies. So that takes it down to 3. I did 1 mission attempt, and consequently, Longshot takes a damage. And then this gets discarded. All right. Oh, I got the top card of my deck in as a Storm. We are going to scry. So I get to look at the top 3 cards of my deck, draw 1, discard 1, and put 1 back on the top of your deck. Let's see. Oh, perfect. So I will discard Storm. Yeah, we'll get rid of Exorcism and put Limbo on top. So we are going to use my once per turn thing to get Limbo out. And then we are going to discard Mirage, Build Support, and Stepping Disc to play Professor X. And he is going to confuse Unus. And then he is going to remove 3 thwart from that scheme right there, which temporarily... Oh, he had retaliate on him, which temporarily takes retaliate off. And now we're going to flip down, and I'm going to discard this card from my hand to get rid of Hunted. All right. Drawing up to 6. Magic Barrier, Forge, Resourceful, Soul Sword, Utopia. And then the last one is Angel. Alright, so we get 1 on the main, which puts 1 back onto Gene Pool, which gives him retaliate back. He would scheme, but he is confused, and now we get a mission. When revealed, Alter Ego. Place 1 pursuit counter on pursuit by the pass. If it has any counters on it, it gains Surge. Okay. War Weary. When revealed, you are stunned. Okay. Professor X. It's the end of the turn, so Professor X goes away. He was not defeated. He just was discarded. So I don't have to play the Gene Pool thing. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip myself up. Which allows me, well, actually, I suppose I can see, I could put the top card of my deck into play. Or I could put a spell, one of Magic spells into the top, onto the top deck. Okay. So, I think... Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to Limbo, swap out Soul Strike for Angel. Actually, no, hang on a second. Not doing that yet. First things first, I'm going to do a mission attempt. So we get another 2 damage on Mikhail. Take 2 more threat off of the side scheme. And then 1 and 1. Okay, now, because I can't guarantee with what I'm going to do, now I will Limbo, swap a card in your hand with the top card of your deck, Soul Strike for Angel. I am going to attack to clear my stunned. I'm going to spend Resourceful and Magic, Resourceful and Forge to get a Utopia out. And now I'm going to use my once per phase ability to play Angel. And I am going to spend Soul Strike. So he is 1 cheaper. So he would be a 2, but it says reduce the cost of 1 to play him if you're a mutant or an X-Men, which I am. So he only costs 1, which triggers Utopia, which allows me to ready up. Right. Angel is going to take 1 off of this, which takes away retaliate. I am going to choose to spend Magic Barrier to get my Soul Sword out. So my attacks now gain piercing. And then if there was a physical or a mental, or a physical or a wild on the top of my deck, I would get a +1 attack. But I will just attack for 2. 1, 2. And we are done. Drawing 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Top card in my deck is Moira McTaggart. All right, villain phase. We're getting 1 on the main, which goes to 3, which means Gene Pool gets 1, so he gets retaliate back. He is coming to attack. I will defend. So 2, 3. I defend 2 of that, so I only take 1. And now we get our encounter card, which is Hunted. All right, my turn. Mission team. We do this. So we do 2 and 2, so these go away. All right, so Mikhail goes away. Mikhail. All right, when defeated, shuffle each player's card at the mission into its owner deck. So I get to shuffle Long Shot in. Moira is discarded. And now, if the mission was not defeated, find the... Okay. The mission was defeated, find the North American seawall, remove it from the game, and each player deals 3 damage to an enemy. Okay. So let me go find the North American seawall. There it is. And I get to do 3 damage to an enemy. Right, that's removed from the game. Now I got to shuffle these up. I think that's right with the order of operations, because the damage from a mission attempt happens after the mission is done. The mission attempt is done, so I would have cleared it first. So, okay. And we get Soul Strike on the top. All right. How do I want to do this? I think what I'm going to do here is I am going to spend 2 to get Triage out. So after Triage enters play, heal 2 damage from an X-Men character. I will heal it for myself, 1, 2. And then Utopia triggers to ready me. I am now going to use Limbo to take Soul Strike and swap it out with Sorcerer Supreme. Now I'm going to use my once per phase thing to play Sorcerer Supreme, only costing 1. This flips over. Long Shot. I am going to... So that is a mental, so I've got a +1 thwart, so I am going to remove 2 thwart off of this one, taking it down to 1. And I'm going to have both of these 2 thwart off of here to get that down. Then I'm going to flip myself over, and alter ego action, I'm going to discard this card to get rid of this Hunted. And then this flips over. And we ready everything up. Draw up to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And Unus no longer has Retaliate. Uncanny X-Men, Superpower Training, Power in All of Us, Stepping Disc, To Me, My X-Men, and Long Shot. Alright, so we get 1 on the main, which causes 1 on Gene Pool. He schemes for 1, 2, 3, 4. Ouch. And our encounter card is Infinite Prelate. Unus activates against you. If the amount of threat on Gene Pool is at least 3, give him a tough status. It's not. So he schemes again for 1 star. Place 1 pursuit counter on Pursuit by the Past. So just one. All right. My turn. Utopia is up. All right, so I'm gonna flip myself up here, which flips the top card over, which is Exorcism. I think I'm gonna put an Exorcism on top anyway, because I gotta get that threat down. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to limbo to place Uncanny X-Men on top and do superpower training. So I'm going to spend superpower training and stepping disc for an exorcism, remove 4 threat from a scheme. I'll remove it from here. And then if the top deck of your top card of your deck has a mental or a wild, which it does, confuse the villain. So he is confused. Right, we're going to use my ability now to play that card for 1 cheaper. So we'll do Long Shot and the Power to All of Us to get Uncanny X-Men out. So now all my X-Men allies, well, if each of your X-Men, your allies has the X-Men trait, which they all do, they each get +1 hit points, and they cost 1 less to play. All right, so these stick around for a little bit longer. So let us... Okay, triage is going to take 1 off of this. Oops, I put it on the wrong one. 1 off of that. Do I pop him? Yeah, let's pop him. Angel is going to hit for 2. 1, 2. Nope. 1, 2. And then I'll attack for 1, 2. All right, so we get Unus 2 out. Comes with 15 hit points. And tough. And that's about all I can do. I'm actually going to hold on to me, my X-Men, since I'm about to restart my deck here. Should be able to get something out of that. So let's ready everything up. I draw 1, which gives me an encounter card, and I have to remember from Sorcerer Supreme that I get an extra card, so I'm up to 6. So I've got to me, my X-Men, Exorcism. See who else, what else we get here. So it definitely requires a little thinking. I haven't, so the top card of your deck, Exposed, and play it for 1 cheaper. That's Norman Withers in Arkham, and I think I was told it was also Gandalf in Lord of the Rings. Never really played Lord of the Rings. So I'm familiar with it, but I can't speak for Lord of the Rings, but definitely for Arkham. Marvel interacts with your deck a lot more, so it does require a lot more thinking. So let's see, we got a Scrying, we've got a Power in All of Us, we've got a Build Support, and a Resourceful. And the top card of our deck is Magic Barrier. Oh, that's actually going to be quite nice, I think. All right, so we get 1 on the main, which puts 1 on Gene Pool. He comes to attack. I'm just going to take it because I have got that on right now. So 2, star. Place one pursuit counter on pursuit by the past. That's obnoxious. So I'm going to, in this phase, I'm going to play this for free, so I prevented all 3 of the damage. It is not a lightning or energy or a wild, so I don't get to do damage back. However, we've got 3 counters on here, which means we got to flip this over now. Flip pursued by the past. After you flip to this side, find your nemesis minion and reveal it. Search the set-aside area for your nemesis side scheme and reveal it. Shuffle your remaining set-aside nemesis cards into the encounter deck and then flip it over. So basically, this is the shadow of the past. It slowly comes for you. Okay, so we got Belasco, who is going to attack, and Ruler of Limbo, which steals my limbo away from me. Just rude. And now these 3 cards get shuffled into the deck. So I was at Con of Heroes in early May, and we pretty much exclusively played with Standard 3. That was the first time that I played with it. Really like it. I think it's a really good change up to the original Standard encounter set. Kind of changes things up, and it allows, you know, you can see that Pursued by the Past building, so it's not just, oh, you get this card, you can dodge it for a couple rounds. And I'm not even going to talk about Standard 2, because, yeah. All right, anyway, so that was the first encounter card, or no, that was the attack. That was the attack, so we're still in the attack phase, which means now he attacks me. You know, I am just going to take it. So he's attacking for 1 plus a card because he's villainous. 2. All right, and now we get 2 encounter cards. Oh, I'm sorry, 3 because of this. Dark Designs. Place 1 on Pursuit from the Past. And the villain schemes, but he is confused. Okay, well, that's going to change my flipping down strategy. Culling the Weak. Place 4 threat on Gene Pool. Ouch. Alright, so that's 6. So now he has Retaliate and Stalwart. So I guess it's good, and they came out in the order they did. Okay. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to scry. So look at the top 3 cards of your deck. So Forge, Pixie, and to me, my X-Men. Discard 1, draw 1, and put the other back on top. All right, I will do Forge, and I'm going to discard to me my X-Men because I'm already there. Okay. Trying to see, do I want Forge out? No, you know what? I don't want Forge out. I'm going to use build support to pay for, to me, my X-Men. So I'm going to search the top 5 cards in my deck for an X-Men ally. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Oh, I think we'll put Colossus into play. So he comes in with Tough. And then at the end of my round, if he's end of the phase, if he's still here, I have to add him to my hand. Let's shuffle this up. Oh, new phase, so I get to do my little play from the top of my deck shtick again. All right, Beast. All right, oh, I don't have Limbo. Dang it. Stinking Ruler of Limbo thing. All right, So we are going to have Colossus punch for 2. Which takes his tough off. We're going to have Angel punch for 2, which defeats him. We are going to punch for 2, which defeats Belasco. Now we are going to... Problem is, I want to do Exorcism. But I just don't have... I was just seeing if I could get Beast out. So the problem is, if I had... I could pay for Beast, but then I wouldn't be able to pay for Exorcism because I don't... The only dual resource cards I have in this deck are the Power in All of Us. So that won't do me good. Let's see here. So I want to get this down so I can confuse him. So yeah, I just got to do this. All right, so we're going to use Resourceful and Pixie to play Exorcism, remove 4 threat from a scheme, which will be this one. And now, because Gene Pool is under 3, he no longer has Retaliate or Stalwart. And now, if the top card of my deck has a mental or a wild resource icon, which it does, I get to confuse the villain. Right. I think Triage is just going to take 1 off of this. Start working on trying to get that down, which takes Triage out. Actually, would I have had enough? Hang on a second. I just want to check something real quick. No, I still wouldn't have had enough. Or, actually, yes, I would have had enough. Okay. I'm changing things up just a little bit here because I just realized... No, that's still gone. I'll take... Triage was done. All right. So before I did Exorcism... I'm taking a chance here because if I do this, I won't be able to confuse the villain, though. I may not confuse the villain, but we're going to try it anyway. Because with Uncanny X-Men, I can reduce his cost by 1, and then because he's on the top of my deck, I can reduce him by another 1. So I'm going to do the Power in All of Us and Pixie for Beast. And then I get to get a resource, which is going to be Power of All of Us, of course. It is not, unfortunately, a mental resource, so I'm not going to be able to confuse. So I don't know if that was a good idea or not. Oh, and Utopia triggers, so I get to ready up there as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Beast thwart 2 off of Ruler of Limbo, which clears it. Let's see here. When this scheme is defeated, put Limbo into play under its owner's control. So I get Limbo back. I can now use Limbo to swap out Storm for Resourceful. I can now play Exorcism, taking 4 off, which gets rid of Retaliate and Stalwart. And then I get to confuse him. So there we go. There we go. And I am ready. So because I have piercing, I will attack. And I get a +1 attack because that's a wild. So I take the tough off and I get to deal 3. And now I'm going to flip myself down. And then ready up. Draw up to 6, so Resourceful. Superpower Training, my Armor, Legion, Stepping Disc, and Summoning Spell. Alright, so we're getting 1 on the main, which gives us 1 here, so he's back up to 3. So he does have Retaliate back. Would scheme, but he is confused. And now we get an encounter card, which is an Infinite Soldier. He's got Guard and Quick Strike, but I am an Alter Ego. All right. Not much I really want to do. I'm not gonna heal up, so I'm gonna flip up. So I get to put a spell card on the top of my deck. Might be kind of a waste. Is it? Is that what I want to do? Sure. All right, so we're going to limbo. We're going to pull Scrying up into my hand and play Resourceful. So Magik is going to swing for 3 to take out the guard. I get the +1 because of the Soul Sword, and that's a wild. Okay, we are now going to scry. So look at the top 3 cards. Resourceful, Spiritual Meditation, and a Stepping Disc. Well, discard Stepping Disc because I already have one in my hand. I'm going to leave Resourceful on the top and put Spiritual Meditation in my hand. I will have Beast thwart 2 off of Gene Pool, which takes the Retaliate away. We're going to Spiritually Meditate. I get a resource, Resourceful, and a Soul Strike. Nice. And then I will discard Superpower Training. What do I got here? It's a mental. Is X-Men, so just looking to see what I can do here. Sure, let us go 1-2 to play Legion. He's 1 cheaper because of Uncanny X-Men. And we are going to have him attack for 1. And after he uses a basic, discard the top card of my deck. It is a mental, so I get to remove 2 threat. So I will go 1-2. Now the top card of my deck is Professor X. Oh, that was X-Men that I put into play, so Utopia triggers. Yeah, let's just go try to beat him. So I'm going to spend Mystic Armor and Resourceful for a Soul Strike. So that is 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't get the stun. I will attack for 2. 1, 2. And then I'll have Colossus attack for 2. 1, 2. All right, and then we ready everything up. Draw up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Top card of my deck is a Stepping Disc. Getting 1 on the main. Gene Pool goes up 1. He comes to attack. I'm just going to take it. So 2, 3, 4. And encounter card is Nowhere is Safe. Put 1 pursuit counter on Pursued by the Past. Then if it has any counters on it, discard an upgrade or support you control. We'll get rid of Utopia. Don't really need it at this point. I'm going to limbo to put Team Building on top. And then I will attack for 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So Magic Leadership takes down Unus Unstandard. Unus? I don't know how to pronounce him. So she's a lot of fun. I can see where she'd be super strong, but it definitely does require a lot of brain power and trying to think things through and pilot the right series of things with the order of operations on things. But all in all, it was good. I enjoyed it. Age of Apocalypse with a little side mission that was fun. Let's see here. Look at the instruction book. So Xavier's dead. Oh, what a shame. Victory. Strike the mission side scheme from the campaign log. Okay. If the mission side scheme was defeated, follow the defeated instructions. If the overseer was defeated, strike its name. So, all right. So we're not going to get Mikhail Rasputin again or sabotage the seawall. And let's see here. If it is defeated, remove the North American seawall side scheme from the campaign. Each player chooses a support from any aspect. They may include one copy of that card in their deck for the rest of the campaign. That card does not count against your minimum deck size. All right, so before the next game, I'll have to decide a support I want to do. I think for the next one, I think I may, like I said, I think I may change out heroes. So maybe the next one I'll do Bishop, and then the one after that I'll do Iceman. Who knows, depending on how long it takes me to do those other ones. Maybe Jubilee will be out by that point. We'll see. But it was good to get game back on the table and get a video out there. If you made it this far, as always, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. Hopefully I'll be putting these out more regularly now. I'm hoping to try to get back to a once per week cadence. We'll see how life goes and if that works. But otherwise, again, thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great evening.